A photosynthesis graph plateaus flat, and the instant reaction is photosynthesis has stopped. It hasn't. Something else has simply taken over as the limit. This lesson covers 4 ideas that all sit inside one plant and get confused with each other constantly. Reading a limiting factor graph correctly, telling xylem from phloem, understanding what actually moves where in translocation, and one surprisingly common mistake about root hair cells. Take your time. There's a real skill buried in each one. Let's start with the graph that trips up more people than almost anything else in this topic. The limiting factor graph. Picture the classic shape. The rate of photosynthesis rising steadily as one factor increases, then suddenly flattening out into a plateau. The instinct, when you see that flat line, is to think photosynthesis has stopped. It hasn't. A plateau means the factor you were increasing is no longer the problem. Something else in the plant has now become the limit instead. Light, carbon dioxide, and temperature are the 3 usual suspects. And at any moment, exactly one of them is holding the rate back. That's what limiting factor actually means. Not a factor that matters, but specifically the one factor stopping the rate from going any higher right now. A few more traps hide inside this same graph. If a question gives you 2 separate lines, say one for high carbon dioxide and one for low carbon dioxide, don't assume temperature is quietly changing too, just because light intensity is increasing along the x-axis. Read only what's actually varying. And when you're asked to describe the shape of the graph, steep describes a slope. Use it for the rising part, never for the flat part. The flat part is a plateau, not a steep plateau. Precise vocabulary, precise marks. Now, a different system entirely. How a plant actually moves things around inside itself. 2 transport tissues, constantly swapped, xylem and phloem. Xylem carries water and dissolved minerals. It moves in one direction only, up from the roots toward the leaves, and it's built from dead, hollow cells, forming a simple one-way pipe. Phloem is almost the opposite in every way. It carries dissolved sugars and amino acids. It can move in either direction depending on what the plant needs at that moment, and it's built from living cells. One-way water pipe, 2-way food pipe. That contrast is the fastest way to keep them apart. That 2-way movement in the phloem has a name, translocation, and it only makes sense once you understand 2 words, source and sink. A source is anywhere sugar is being made or released. A leaf actively photosynthesizing is almost always a source. A sink is anywhere sugar is being used up or stored. A growing root tip, a developing fruit, a storage organ filling up. Sugar moves from source to sink, full stop. And here's the detail that catches people out. The same organ can switch roles. A potato tuber is a sink while it's storing starch, but becomes a source later, releasing that starch once the plant needs it to grow a new shoot. Source and sink aren't fixed labels on a diagram. They depend on what's actually happening at that moment. One last correction, and it comes from over-applying a rule that's usually true. Plant cells photosynthesize. That's a fair general rule, but root hair cells break it completely. Root hair cells live underground, in the soil, where no light ever reaches them. So they contain no chloroplasts at all and cannot photosynthesize. What they're actually specialized for is the opposite job, a long, thin shape that maximizes surface area, built entirely for absorbing water and minerals from the soil. Not every plant cell does the same job. Root hair cells are built for absorption, not production. Quick practice first. On a warm, sunny day inside a greenhouse with normal atmospheric carbon dioxide, state which factor is most likely limiting the rate of photosynthesis and explain your answer. Carbon dioxide concentration. Light and temperature are both already favourable, so in an enclosed space, breathing in only normal air, carbon dioxide is usually the factor holding the rate back, which is exactly why greenhouses are often enriched with extra carbon dioxide. Now, a full exam-style question tying together everything in this lesson. Part A. A plant is moved from a shaded room into direct sunlight. State and explain what happens to its rate of photosynthesis as light intensity keeps increasing, right up to the point where light stops being the limiting factor. Part B. State one structural difference between xylem and phloem cells and link it to their different functions. Part C. A potato plant's tuber stores starch in early summer, then uses that same starch to grow a new shoot in late summer. State whether the tuber is acting as a source or a sink at each of those two times, and explain your answer. Part D. Explain why root hair cells cannot photosynthesize, referring to both their location and what they lack. Part A. The rate increases steadily as light intensity increases, until some other factor, carbon dioxide or temperature, becomes the new limiting factor instead, at which point the rate plateaus and stops rising. Part B. Xylem cells are dead and hollow, forming a continuous one-way tube suited to moving water upward. Phloem cells are living, suited to the two-way active transport of sugars. Part C. In early summer, the tuber is a sink, since it's receiving and storing starch. In late summer, it becomes a source, since it's releasing that starch to fuel new growth. Source and sink describe what an organ is doing at that moment, not a fixed label. And Part D. Root hair cells are underground in the soil where no light ever reaches them, so they contain no chloroplasts at all and can't photosynthesize. They're specialized for absorption instead. So, 4 ideas, all inside one plant. A plateau on a limiting factor graph means a different factor has taken over, not that photosynthesis has stopped, and only one factor is ever the limiting factor at a time. Xylem, water and minerals, one direction, dead cells, phloem, sugars and amino acids, either direction, living cells. That two-way movement is translocation, from source to sink, and those labels can switch depending on what the organ is doing right now. And root hair cells, no light reaches them, so no chloroplasts, no photosynthesis, built for absorption instead. I've put all 4 in the notes. Revise it on StudyRevise while it's fresh.